Hey traders, it's Hima here and I've got chart of the week, FANG stocks into earnings. Today's Monday, April 13th, 2020. Now before we take a look at the charts, important reminder that trading and investing can be extremely risky business and it's your responsibility to evaluate any information, opinion, advice, or other content contained in this video. So we're going to kick things off with Facebook. So in case you are not familiar with the FANG stocks, that's an abbreviation for Facebook and other tech stocks that are very highly traded and watched closely. Now, with all the drama of the markets, to say the least, over the past several weeks, I think it's going to be a very interesting earnings season ahead. And these companies, these FANG companies, are all starting to report soon. Now, they're not reporting tomorrow or the day after necessarily, but I want you to have enough time to be able to look at some patterns in the market, price, momentum, time, and look at how these stocks acted during previous earnings releases and what followed, okay? Because especially if you're new to trading those stocks, you've got to look at the stock's own history before you trade it in the future. So right here you can see that I have price action, RSI power zones on the bottom, and I have two lines. So just like on my skinny on the mini reports, I use blue horizontal lines for resistance. So those are areas of potential selling pressure, supply in the market. And I use pink horizontal lines for supports. So those are areas of potential buying power and potential floor in the market. So right now with Facebook trading where it is, there's a couple of things to notice. Number one, the price action still remains higher off of the low that was formed in mid-March. Number two, up ahead is resistance from an old low that I think is important because of several other resistance levels that come in near it. Next, when you look at the RSI power zones, they are just edging right back up to the bear resistance power zone. And this is really important to be monitoring going forward. So if you're not familiar with the RSI power zones in depth, keep an eye out for trainings that I have coming up where you can come and learn from me and see me go into these stocks in even more depth. So coming back to the bigger picture here, what I see as likely for Facebook is that it creeps a little higher, maybe over the next couple days, but there are key support levels in the short term that need to be looked at. And I'm going to be detailing those for my members in more frequent updates on your members deep dive page into earnings. Okay, so keep an eye out for those video posts. These are still two very important levels to watch and keep an eye on as Facebook gets closer to its earnings date, which as of now is April 22nd. Now we look at Apple. So Apple, just like the other FANG stocks, has been recovering higher. Now it hasn't bounced higher quite as strongly as Facebook. Then again, Apple is a more robust stock that has had a more consistent uptrend before all of the 2020 crash occurred. So you can see that I have 285.80 as a very important level to watch. And the main source for pointing out that resistance is one of the key methods I teach in my 4 zones RSI coverage system, which again, I'm going to be going into RSI in depth in live trainings coming up soon, so keep an eye out on your email. On the flip side, for support, this gap off of the low from April 2nd, the entire gap is important to watch, but the gap getting closed, meaning price trading back below 245.15 and closing there for a day, that would be not a great sign for Apple and would suggest further downside ahead. All of this within the context of the RSI power zones right now just kind of skimming the bear resistance power zone. Now we look at Amazon. That's the second A in FANG. Amazon, as you can see today, has been pushing through a resistance level that I've been watching. Now, we don't know if we're going to close above this level until the day is over, but this is a very strong candle. And notice that this purple light horizontal line, that's key timing. And I had been watching this since last week for Amazon. So key timing points in the market sometimes feed into a reversal of trend or an acceleration of trend and a powerful force kicking in. The next key timing point for Amazon is sitting at April 17th. In terms of the short-term support levels, I'd really keep a close eye on last Thursday's low. While that's intact, there's still room for Amazon to climb higher. Moving on to Netflix. Netflix also had key timing for today, and you can see that it's testing these highs that it had posted back in late February and early March. It's also posting a very strong bar, just like Amazon did for today. The entire situation with Netflix is a bit stronger than the other FANG stocks we've looked at so far. So I want to keep an eye on the most recent higher swing low, that's 357.51. While we're above that, there's continued chance for further upside in Netflix, depending on how it ends the day, versus the 392.95 level. Last but not least is Google. Now, one of my past key timing points on Google ended up calling a short-term high. So it was for January 23rd, and the high came in on January 22nd. After that, there was very, very telling action on the RSI power zones, both based on the location of the RSI versus the zones, and based on patterns the RSI was making versus itself, that got traders ready for the crash that occurred in February if you were watching RSI power zones closely. And again, I'm going to be detailing those in live trainings and with my member deep dive videos as we proceed into this earnings season. Coming into the more recent price action. Since last week, I have been watching 12, 14, 40, okay? And we have been just circling, oscillating around that level, but not able to post a closing break above it. That's not a great sign for Google. So if Google continues to weaken from these levels, I'd keep an eye on 11.1879. There are other short-term levels along the way, but 11.1879, if price gets below that and really pushes, then that's more of a telling sign that Google is about to make another drive lower, as Gann would say, and I'd be on the lookout for a more substantial move for the next several weeks. So that's what I'm seeing on the FANG stocks at a big picture overview level that you can take different angles of price time momentum and use to get ready for the earnings season ahead. Catch you on the inside. You can sign up at himareddy.com/gift to get my hot, timely, actionable updates as soon as I publish right to your inbox.